based on what he's talking about. Subject, how do you know you got someone good? Actually, I covered that last builder's call. You really kind of look at the decisions, their decision process. Are they making the right decisions? Are they counseling with you to make the right decisions in their lives and what they're trying to accomplish? And that really kind of determines, exactly what he said, because I look at the decisions I made when I built my business and all those crazy things I did. And I think, I need to do more of that now. I need to do more of that now. Now I have a large group, but I need to build it like I have 0 people, And so let's talk about a couple things related to building the business, right? Okay, Millionaire Maker's Manual. Oh, this is tough because this has kind of the same green as my green screen. Oh, this is weird. It's like a transparent book. It's the Millionaire Maker's Manual. And every time I refer back to this, I can see my logo. Oh, that's cool. But you can't see me. Anyway, I listen, I read this book. And so I haven't talked from this book in a long, long time. And a lot of this stuff is the stuff that we used to talk about back in the day. And he just put it on as in a book format. Okay. So, so let's open our Millionaire Maker Manual book. Depending on which one you have, I'm turning to page 236. Where are you the truth? So this is a great reference manual, by the way. I don't know that it's, you can read it all the way through to kind of understand where things are, but this is really reference as evidenced by all the tabs and stuff I have on here. But there's a chapter in here that says, talks about where are you, like the truth, okay? And before you can really move on in any direction, before you can put a real game plan together, something that will be very effective. There's game plans and there's like, what am I going to do today? Yeah, you can kind of, there's goal setting and there's all these ways of trying to achieve. But sometimes you fake yourself out because you don't really take a good self-assessment on where you're at. Sometimes where you're at will really, and an honest look at where you're at will really define where you want to go, because you know what platform you're on, as shaky as it may be. And that's part of it, is knowing how shaky your platform is, both from a long-term and a short-term basis. Now, look, I don't have to tell you that you got to pay your bills. And if you are coming short paying your bills, you got a problem. And that should not be something that should be lost on you. However, I find a lot of people like to row their boat on the River Nile, on the River Nile. And they don't take an honest assessment because they don't want to feel the pain of where they are. They try to fantasize, or they do things that make them feel good so they don't have to address the real issue. And I know some of y'all know, like me, the creative ways that we can not face the pain of our current situation, and we do things that feel good temporarily, but we never address the pain of our situation, and then we never get rid of a situation. There's a lot of, people go to therapy to try to figure that out, why they try to substitute stuff for the reality, okay? And this chapter on where are you, the truth, is probably one of the most important things. This actually should be the first chapter in this book, but it's not the first chapter. Okay. And so taking an honest assessment, but not with the attitude of woe is me and oh my God, how am I going to ever climb out of this hole? It's, you got to know the hole you're in. You got to know how big the hole is. You got to know how deep the hole is. The beautiful thing about this life and what the Lord has endowed you with is the ability to climb out of it. And that's, I think, what maybe why you deny, or why I deny the situation I'm in, because I don't think there's any way out. So why confront it when I don't think I can get out of it, right? And then we keep delaying, dealing with it, and all of a sudden we're losing our homes. We're, having to move in with relatives. Well, I'd never let anything get that bad. Well, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Because when I ask you the question, okay, so how much do you have in retirement savings right now that you'd be able to retire on with any kind of financial dignity? You got a couple million, because that's, roughly about what it's going to take. You got a couple million yet? Okay, do you have $1 million yet? Do you have 500,000 yet? How old are you? How old are you? You're 45? Okay, 45, you want to retire in 20 years? You got nothing. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, you might think that you're paying your bills. Well, what you're not doing is you're not talking about paying your bills when you're, 70 years old, right? And that's a real thing. It's a real thing, because every year that goes by that you don't take care of that future problem gets closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. And you all know, selling life insurance to seniors, you all know what situations they're in. You, of all people in this world, selling to seniors, know what it's like living on Social Security alone. They barely can scare off enough money for a $5,000 policy. And in your mind, you're thinking, man, I wish I had more. I wish I had people that made more money so it'd be easier to sell. You're thinking that. It's like, oh gosh, another broke senior. See, while you're thinking that thought, what you're not thinking about is, oh my God, how am I not going to be that senior I'm sitting down with? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like you sit down with the reality of your situation, except that situation stay with this person, but that's you 20, 30 years from now. And that person who's only living on Social Security in a house that's run down and dilapidated, and they got grandkids running around because their kids haven't moved out of the house yet, and the carpet is dirty beyond, you don't want to drop anything on it. You rarely want to walk on it because you know how dirty the carpet is. And you get to their chair, and they pull out the chair for you, and it's kind of rickety, and you're wondering, oh God, I hope it stays up. And then you put your stuff on the table, and it's sticky. And they got to pull their peanut butter and jelly and the bread off the table and put it somewhere else. And their grandkid, they're frying something for their grandkids for breakfast. And it's a old plastic, clear, clouded tablecloth, not a cloth, table plastic, and it's sticky. Like, how many of y'all been there? Like, chat at me. If you've been out in the field, how many of y'all been in that house, in that trailer, right? But you know what? That might be you. That might be you, man. So what are you doing now to pay your bills? What's the truth of your situation? What are you doing now to be able to pay your bills when you retire? I have. Because that person could be you. If you're not doing anything about it today, and selling life insurance today only to take care of tomorrow's bills or today's bills is not going to get you off the Social Security deal. You know what I mean? It's not going to get you, where you can retire with financial dignity. You retire with hope and excitement for being able to spend time with your grandchildren and watching your grandchildren, coming home from the hospital after being born, and your child lives 5 states away, and you've got time to spend with them, and or traveling wherever you want to go, and all your bills are taken care of. Your Medicare is taken care of. You're on a Medicare Advantage. Yep. Fortunately, no. So this chapter on the truth of your situation, and Andy has some great quotes here. It says, he who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. Yeah, it's going to take risk. But what kind of risk to create a life? To me, creating your life is not a risk. That's what we're talking about, isn't it? Creating your life. Creating your life now, creating your life in the future, creating your life for your family. And when it comes down to it, again, the reality of the situation is, it's on you, baby. Who else is it on? And you can blame your spouse all day long because they don't make enough money. But at the end of the day, that blame game doesn't take you very far, does it? It's, what am I going to do now to make my life, to create my life? I like this one, Proverbs 14:23. All hard work brings profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. How about this one? A little sleep and a little slumber, and poverty will overtake you like a thief in the night. That's the one that I always have in my head. Little sleep, a little slumber. Okay. Again, this is a chapter on where are you, the truth. Be honest, don't trick yourself. Beau, in Shakespeare's, Beau, that's Andy. In Shakespeare's classic play Hamlet, the king says to his son, to thine own self be true. In other words, the worst, you can lie to your spouse, you can lie to your children, you can lie to everyone around you, lie to your clients. But man, you cannot lie to yourself, because when you lie to yourself, oh man, that is a recipe for disaster. Now, I'm not advocating lying, but the last person in the world you should lie to is yourself. You need to speak to yourself the truth and the reality of what you are in right now. And the way to climb out of that situation is the hope and expectation of a better tomorrow, because you're doing something about it. See, that is the ladder out of your hole. The ladder in what we're in is the alliance ladder, climbing out of your hole with the alliance ladder. And that is through selling, and it's through building an agency, in my humble but accurate opinion, because I think building your agency, like seriously, the only person I think in the alliance that makes gobs of money, that can put money away for retirement, consistently, is Megan Wood. Okay. I don't know what anyone else is doing. Like, I don't pretend to know what else they're doing with their money. Okay. But you can save your money to retirement, but you'll never save your money to wealth. No one ever gets wealthy through saving money. The saving part is the problem. It's investing is where you can be rich, where you can find wealth. It's investing. And if you don't have money to invest, then you have time, money, and emotion, right? Time. Where are you spending your time? And part of that idea is understanding where you are. To thine own self be true. If you tell yourself that you've got plenty of money and plenty of time right now, are you being true to thine own self? Is there something you would like that you can't afford? Can your wife really buy everything that she wants? Do your children really go to the schools they want to go to? Do you really donate all the money you want to your favorite charities? Do you base decisions on the lack or the abundance of money? Okay. So Andy says here, honestly, take a look at your finances, man. Is all your money based on your physical efforts? Do you have any residual income? Are your savings building up to the level you want them to? Do you love what you're doing at your current job or your current business? What would you have to do to make your current job something that you love and you enjoy and you want to do 24/7? If you decided to go into business, would you have the time away from your current business, or would you have to actually change jobs so you can have enough time to build your own business? Okay, inherent with all those questions are a decision process and a thought process, right? And it's the game that a lot of us try to play when we get into business. Like, for example, if you've got a job that consumes you, 80 hours a week, and you have no mental energy, no time to build this business, to sell insurance, well, I can't help you, man. I can't help you because you are stuck. So now what are you going to do with that stuck feeling? Because you haven't given yourself any chance because you're stuck in your job, 80 hours. You can't, and you have no mental energy for your family, no mental energy for the business, no mental energy to get out of your situation, right? So some people have to make a hard decision. Should I give up this job to get a 40-hour-a-week job so I can build myself out of my hole? Is that feasible? Should I take a demotion at my company and go from being a supervisor back to being an hourly worker? I probably make about the same amount of money, but instead of 80 hours a week, I'm spending 40 hours a week. There's not that prestige anymore. You're giving up the prestige and the ego, but you're making a better decision because now you have 40 hours a week outside of your 40 hours to build this business and to dig yourself out of the hole of that workaday world that you hate, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, everything is a cost and everything is a benefit. And you have to measure the cost of those decisions with the benefit of what you're going to receive from it. And then the question is, what will that benefit give you? Well, that benefit will give you immediate income. Is it a way to lay the foundation for future income? Is it residual income that keeps paying you back over and over? See, because then that will inform you of what to put your time into, right? So you have choices in the insurance business. You have the choice to put your time into immediate income so that you can get money as soon as policies get issued and you get paid on the next pay cycle that keeps the money flowing so you can keep going with your bills, okay? So you've got time there. Okay, what are you doing to build your future income, your future retirement? Now look, you can save $2 million if you want to, or what you can do is you can take this money and invest it in building a business that will be more than worth $2 million, because a business that returns, maybe a couple $100,000 a year in residual override income that will keep coming back to you is worth about $2 million. Right? It's worth a $2 million asset. Actually, you could make a case that it could be a $4 million asset to produce $250,000 a year, not based on your pen, not you writing. You're writing, maybe making $100,000, $200,000 a year, but you got overrides and renewals coming in. That's another $200,000, $250,000 a year. How long did it take you to do that? In my opinion, you could do it in 5 years or less. Let's say it took you 5 years. So how long would it take you to put away $2 million in 5 years as opposed to putting sweat equity? And you're going to have to invest in building your business, but putting the sweat equity in building your agency up to where you've got an asset worth $2 million that's bringing in $200,000 a year. And then it just grows from there. If you continue to build it and then you get bought out by Integrity, or you sell your business and you have this money coming in, or you never sell the business, you keep the cash flow coming in. Do you understand? Like, understanding where you are right now will help you make those proper decisions, right? Like, what part of your time is making sales? What part of your time is creating a future for yourself, right? Creating a future. And here's the thing, I've said this before. If I said it once, I said it a million times. If you're not doing it now, then you're adding 3-4 more weeks to you selling. You'll never get out. If every week you do not recruit a new person, don't show the plan to a new person, it's another 4 weeks to your life sentence of selling the rest of your life just to keep the bills paid. Does that make sense? Every week you don't show the plan to a new person. Every week you don't recruit. You add another 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks to your job. Every week. Every week you don't do anything. Every week that you live only to survive. Every week that you just make enough dials to book just enough appointments so you can make just enough income to cover your bills so that you can just survive. But not show the plan. That's just more time in doing what you're doing. Here's what happens. Those of you who are my age know how fast time flies by. How fast did the last 20 years go in your life? How about the last 10? How about the last 10? Here we are, 10 years later. Am I better off than where I was 10 years ago? And if the answer is no, man, then what are you going to be 10 years from now? What does that look like 10 years from now? Are you going to be having that same regret? You're 10 years older. You're closer to the end than you're at the beginning. And you've cut down the time that you could build up an income-producing asset like Robert Kiyosaki talks about in Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Man, this is really going off on a tangent. Am I making sense to anybody? Really, am I making sense? But Alex, I've got kids. Alex, I have this. Alex, I have that. I'm not telling you to get rid of your kids. What I'm telling you is, like, take an assessment of your life and what you're doing with your time. If you truly did an audit of your time, you're going to be able to answer that question, like a true audit of your time. And you look at the things that you're doing that is not productive towards your family or your income or your financial situation. Like, you tell me, man. Now look, God's number one in my life. So I do all the things, and I need to do more, but I do all the things that help me continue to build my relationship with my Father in heaven. Right? That's important, but doesn't mean I'm spending 168 hours a week praying. Okay? I'm not so heavenly minded that I'm no earthly good, right? I'm looking at what I am doing there. I'm looking at how do I keep the family life going? How to keep my relationship going with my spouse? Then I'm looking at how do I keep my business growing? How do I continue to bring people on board and help them get started in this awesome business, right? Oh, wow. Hey, Jen, when the student is ready, the teachers will appear.
That is so true.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a real thing, gang. Like, you read Think and Grow Rich. Honestly, when you open your heart to the things that are in you that you're trying to figure out, and you know, I pray about those, solutions come my way. And the thing is, I'm not so pig-headed to not be open to solutions that God's answering my prayer, because I want it to happen a certain way. Like, that's our control freakness in us, in me. I want to control everything. But faith means you're not in control. You give your control up, and God will, poof, enlighten your mind and put the right people in front of you, tell you the right things, if you're truly open and walk in faith. How many times in the Bible has Jesus said, your faith has healed you? Go now and sin no more. Your faith has healed you. Man, faith is a powerful weapon if you choose to use it, okay? But that faith has to be built on understanding what your situation is, okay? And then understanding what you need to do to get out of it and being open to suggestions, which could be what you're on this conference call to hear, right? Here's some more questions. If you decided to go into business, would you have the time away from your current business, or would you actually change jobs so you can have enough time to build your own business? Do you have a plan for your children? You need to be honest. What are you willing to do? What do you need to do? What do you need? This is an important question. What do you need to let go of in order to build the life that you want? See, we cling often to what we know and what we're used to, even though it's not the best thing for us, because we don't think that we can ever achieve or aspire to something better than what we have. And you know what that is based on? That is based on your self-image. That's based on how you think about yourself and what you think you deserve in your life, right? You cling to what you know, you cling to what is comfortable, even though it's not the best thing for you, and even though it's walking you down this road that you can't turn back from, and a road that is not a very good outcome for yourself, you hold on to it because it's what you know, what you're comfortable with, right? My job and the job of the Alliance, the job of Andy Albright, the job of, of what we do here is try to build your self-image so you believe you deserve those great things in life if you're willing to work for it, that your work and effort that you put towards a worthwhile dream or goal, excluding all the distractions and going for it, will give you the return that you're looking for, that has given others the same return when they put their nose to the grindstone, they put the work in, right? The biggest hurdle is you figuring out that you deserve it. If you do the work, that you deserve the benefits. And we all do, if you do the work, if you do it properly. And it's a head game. But the problem is, you're waiting to suddenly have that, oh, I'm a kid of a king. I deserve the inheritance God has given me. I'm going to go after it. You're waiting for that aha moment that, like, poof. The problem is, if you're always waiting for that, you will never get it. What you need to do, and what I need to do, okay, I'm talking to me, is I need to work. I need to put the work in so I deserve from what the hard work I put in. I start earning that confidence. I start earning the self-image because I put the work in day, day out, night out. Talking to agents late night, like last night, talked to several agents. And well, what else was I doing? Watching TV with my family? No, man, I'd rather talk to you. Oh my gosh, I'd rather talk to you than really almost anything else. I mean, I love talking to my family, okay, don't get me wrong. But you know what? After my family, I'd rather talk to you, help you, get your mind right. Just talk about junk, talk about you, talk about what you're wanting. Me telling you, you can get that if you really work. Look at all these knuckleheads out there in the Alliance that are working their butts off. They're no better than you, but they are achieving great things. You are a decision away. One volt, 1 millivolt of an energy, that you expend in your head to make a decision, that little millivolt of a decision. That is how close you are. That is how close you are. And the decision doesn't have to be connected to reality. Like, you just have to make the decision, then reality conforms to your decision because you're willing to put the work in. And this is what we're talking about, is creating a better life for you by conforming the world around you because you've made a decision and you know that God has abundance for you if you're willing to work for it, right? I mean, you can bend your future to what you want it to be. Align it to how you want it to be. And it's all just a decision away. You think it's like this big, long journey. The journey starts with that decision. And then, okay, what's the game plan? Let's do it. What do we need to do next, right? What do I need to do to start making more sales? Well, do you got some leads? No, I don't. Alex, how do I get leads? Okay, let's put a game plan for leads for you. You willing to pound the phone? You willing to learn and coach with me? We'll put leads in your hands, get you dialing, make your first 2-3 sales, and then guide you to how to do that more. And with the money, let's talk about other leads that we can get for you. What is your schedule? How many dials are you making this week? How many days are you working? Oh, really? Is that all? Can you work more? Do you have more in your calendar to be able to do that? Do you see how this works with you and me talking? It doesn't work with you like, woe is me. I really need leads. but I don't know how to get leads. I can't afford leads, but I'm tired of dialing the phone. Now you start sounding like Eeyore. Oh, I don't know if I can do this. And day after day goes by when you're lamenting. And each day that goes by is a day you'll never get back. You'll never get that day back. Never. That day is gone. And now it's a new day, but then you keep doing the same thing. It's like, man, stop it. Call me, Alex. I need to get off my butt. All right, let's get off your butt. Let's get you some bonus leads. And then when are you going to dial? Call me after your dial session, or call me when you run into objections. How hard is that? Are you going to dial tonight? Friday night's a great time to dial. People are home. They're not going out to the restaurants. They've shut it down. They're home. Let's see if we can book you some appointments for Saturday. Or let's get leads in your hands so you can start dialing Saturday morning, man. The best time of the week to dial is from 8 to noon. And the prime time's from 8 to 10. So do y'all have enough leads to dial Super Saturday? See, do you see how quick that decision was and how fast we can turn it around? And you're running into issues, you're running into problems. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you for running into issues. Thank you for running into objections, because I could teach you something. I could teach you something when you run into objections. Let's learn how to overcome them. But not only overcome them verbally on comebacks, but how to overcome the mental mindset of dealing with objections so that objections are not devastating. They're not self-image rattling. They're not causing you to ask yourself, am I really doing the right thing for me? Maybe the Lord is telling me that this is not for me. Now I know how many of y'all thought that, right? You run into challenges in this business and then you start questioning, well, maybe God is telling me that I shouldn't be in this business. Oh, come on, chat at me. I know. I know what you're thinking, because I have those same thoughts. I had those same thoughts. Maybe the Lord isn't, Look, man, thank God for objections. Thank God for challenges, because then you have somewhere, you're going somewhere. People that aren't going anywhere are not having challenges. Why? Because Satan wants you to stay where you are, man. And he's taking the third law of inertia, or second law of motion, or whatever, Newton's second law, that remains stationary will remain stationary. That which is stationary remains stationary. That is in motion will tend to stay in motion, whatever that law is. Right? You know what I mean? Like, Satan wants you to stay where you are. So whenever you put energy to try to change where you're at, you've got a lot of forces against you. Not the least of which is the enemy, because he knows that if you start improving your life, you start improving your faith in God and what he has for you. And he doesn't want that. Why would he want you to be more faithful? Right? Faith is your weapon. He wants you to totally think that your gun has no bullets in it. Okay? Your faith, it's hard. I shouldn't use that kind of a violent weapon, but you know what I'm talking about? That your Ferrari has no gas in it and you can't go anywhere. He's trying to convince you of that. You know what I mean? How many times has that thought gone in your head? Right? It's the enemy talking at you, whispering. You don't deserve it. This isn't going to work for you. This isn't going to work for you. Why don't you go play with your kids? Your kids love you. Your kids love you. Why don't you go play with your kids to make you feel better? And that's how he traps you. He traps you by you thinking you're doing the right thing when you think you're doing the right thing, and it's not a bad thing to spend time with your children, but to spend, 10 hours a day with your kids when you could spend, 3 hours on the phone dialing. Do you know what I'm saying? You and I know, man, you want to do that which feels comforting and better than the thing that will challenge you. You know how you are. I know how I am. You know what I'm saying? When I hit a snag, I pray for guidance to see where the issue is and the wisdom to overcome it. Absolutely. Prayer is the most powerful weapon you have. Lord, help me figure this out. What do I need to do? Who do I need to call? What help do I need? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's only a decision away, right? It's only a decision away. The decision of building a business. Well, I mean, that's a simple one. Who do I know that could use extra money? The recruiting decision begins with you putting a list of people that you think might be needing this. And you don't know if they need this unless you call them and ask them. Like, how many of y'all know people? And I'm not talking intimate, close friends, beyond your intimate, close friends. How many acquaintances do you know? Like, how long have y'all been in your careers? How long have you been in sales? Have you ever worked with other salespeople in that, that Dish Network selling program, right? How many customer service reps that were working around you in that call center? Look, man, you know more people than you're willing to admit. People on your Christmas card list. You know how many people on your Christmas card list are just mere acquaintances anyway? You just trade cards every year because they're on your list, but you hardly have kept up with them other than what, Christmas cards you see their kids grow up. You know what I mean? Like, how many of those people? You've got hundreds of people that you know. And out of those hundreds of people that you know, there are 10, 12 people that are looking for something right now. They are honestly looking for something right now. So recruiting starts with you. Well, Alex, it sounds like, we're going to do a multi-level thing. No, we're not. We're throwing a lifeline out to someone who needs it. We just don't know who's in the water drowning. We have to go through the triage process to find out who's drowning so we can throw the life preserver out to them called the Alliance Life Preserver. But you don't know until you ask. It's like when Andy Albright called me. He didn't know. He didn't know I was praying 2 weeks prior going, Lord, help me. I need something. I need something to change my life. And not just my finances. I need something. He answered my prayer when Andy called me. You could be the same answer to someone's prayer. You ever thought of it like that? And what does it hurt to ask someone? Oh, I'm doing good, Alex. I got a lot going on right now. Don't have time on my plate. Okay, awesome, man. How did that hurt you? How did that hurt me? I mean, in the context of the world. See, I think the problem sometimes when you think about, oh, I don't know if I can. The reason is you're worried about what they think of you. In my opinion, most of the time, you're just worried what other people think about you. And that's the first thing you got to get over. If you want to be truly wealthy, one of the first things you got to get over is you got to get over what your friends and acquaintances think about you, what they think about whatever you're doing. Why let the committee of they rule your life? Because that's what you're doing when you decide not to show this opportunity to other people. It's the committee of they, all the people that are judging you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I wonder what Alex is doing. I wonder if that's, the right thing to do. Man, I don't really think highly of him anymore. I don't really respect him anymore. He just doesn't love his family. How many of y'all have the committee of they in your mind when you're putting together your list of people that you know? Like, at the end of the day, people don't. Here's the thing. Let me break it to you. This is the saddest news I probably will share with you today on this call. People do not think about you. They don't think about you at any increment of time that even makes a difference. You might have your mom and dad think about you, but it's not 24/7. Like, my mom prays for us. So she thinks about us when she prays for us every day. What is that? Half an hour? She does a rosary, about an hour, maybe. That's the only person in this world probably thinks about you an hour a day is your mom. Okay, so let's take your mom and your dad out of the picture. Now, who else thinks about you? And why would you care? See, people don't think about you. Don't give a squat about what you do. So why are you limiting your opportunity because of what people think about you? I mean, if you truly want to be wealthy, you don't give a rip about what people think about you. What you might give a rip is the people you respect. What do the people that you respect think about you as far as being a player on our team? Are you a player on the team or are you on the bench? Are you a bench warmer? Because you know what? This is unlike other sports because you determine if you're in the game or not. You determine if you're on the bench or not. And every one of you on this call and me could determine where you are right now. Are you on the bench or are you playing? And are you really playing? Are you playing to your potential? That's the other thing. Are you just kind of going through the motions, running up and down the court? You know, hey, I'm open, but please don't pass it to me because I don't want to take the shot. But I'm here, I'm playing defense, but, you know, are you that player? Right? Are you the go-to player? You can be a role player too. Okay, so I'm not saying you can't be a role player. Everyone has a role. But man, you got to be the star of your own team, baby. You know what I mean? I'm getting all these analogies. I'm kind of spinning my head around all these analogies, right? You determine if you're on the bench or if you're playing the game. So what are you doing to build your business? Starts with a list. How many of y'all have put a list of 50 top people that we can call together and determine if they're open-minded? I just brought someone on, Brittany Johnson, and she hooked me up with 3 people that she knew right away that maybe would be interested. I got a hold of 2 of the 3, and both of them want to come on board. One's licensed and one isn't, right? So my next job is, of those 2, I need to get hold of the 3rd one, but of those 2, who do they know that they want to bring on? It's called Building Depth, and that is a great chapter in this book on depth building, okay? We haven't got there yet. We're still trying to figure out what is the truth of your situation, right? What do you need to let go of in order to build the life you want? That's where we launched off of. What do you need to let go of? Do you need to let go of, see, I'm turning it into a question. I cannot preach, man. I'm not a good preacher. I'm a great question asker. What do you need to let go of in order to build the life that you want? Right. Can you continue to coach Little League? Or is that something that you just have to continue doing? If it is, continue coaching. Do you always watch TV? Should you give up TV to build your dream life? What do you do? Honestly, that is not something that is going to further your cause to create a dream life, is it? Watching TV. The number one person that you cannot fool is yourself. Once you're able to commit to paper where you are financially and where you are in life, you now need to sit down with your upline growing manager and a very profitable person in the business who is in life where you want to be and show them where you are now so that they can show you how to move on to the next step. If you will follow the proven system your manager lays out for you, your success will surely follow. As stated in the next line from the Shakespeare quote from above, and it must follow as the night after day. Be honest with yourself, be truthful. Where are you at, man? Where are you at? So I was going to talk about building depth, but really building depth starts from building, making a decision to build a business. Like I said, 1 week going without recruiting somebody, man, it's another 3 to 4 weeks of your sentence to having a life insurance job the rest of your life. And life insurance jobs are not a bad thing to have. It's one of the best things you can do for people. But can you see yourself doing it when you're 80 years old? If you can't, you need a game plan to work your way out of that job sooner than later. We can help you do it in 3 years or less. But, you know, even working it, you know, semi-hard, you can probably do it in 3 years, right? So anyway, man, I hope this kind of brainwashing, washing your brain out of the crap. Get a white sheet of paper and write down, where am I? Categories you can put down: financially. Where am I financially? Am I covering my bills? What money do I have coming in? How much of that money coming in from my job, not the insurance business? My job is enough to pay my bills. What shortfalls do I have there? What do I need to do to make it up selling life insurance, right? Where am I financially? Where am I with my family? Where am I with my spouse? Okay. Where am I with my relationship with God? Like, where am I realistically? Cut all the crap, cut all the BS, where I'm at in all these situations, and take a stark look, not take a pessimistic, okay? I'm not saying be pessimistic. I'm just take emotion out of it. Don't let the emotion cloud your judgment. Just write down where you are right now, today, in those things that are important to you, what you value, okay? I mean, I value God, family, and the business. So where am I in all those in the business related to financial? Okay, relate to financial. So God, family, and and the financial side of my life. Where am I in all those things? And you can put health down there too. Where am I in my health? Okay, Alex, this sounds suspiciously like goal setting. It kind of is. You got to know where you're at though. A real assessment, and then from there, okay, let's put a game plan together on the financial side. Okay, I don't know if I can help you on the spiritual side or family side, but it's worthy to talk about if you want to talk about that. But let's talk about where you are in your business. Are you putting your time into selling insurance? Are you putting time in building a business for your future, right? Because those are the things that we do, okay? And then really kind of the other part of that in selling insurance and building a business is, are you getting better at it? Are you doing the things to become better at sales and better at building, to become a better leader? Are you doing all those things, right? Which is listening, working, associating, and change, LWAC, right? Are you doing those things to help you get better at both? You got to do the whole program so that you can get the benefits of it all right? So, man, I hope this was helpful. I'm passionate about this stuff because I believe you can do it. See, that's the thing. Why would I spend time with you? I didn't think you could do it. Am I just kind of banging a gong here and for no one to hear? No, man, I'm here for you. Like, let's talk early and often. Get with me. Let's talk. I find that when I talk to Andy more, my business grows. When I don't talk to him as much, my business doesn't grow. Okay. So maybe, you and I need to talk. Maybe you and I need to kind of get your mind right. Get my mind right. See, when I talk to you and counsel you, I get my own mind right. So it helps me too. Probably helps me more than it helps you, honestly. So anyway, gang, man, I appreciate y'all. Who's going to get on the leaderboard next week? We've got today, Saturday, and Sunday. We got a few more days to get on the leaderboard. Now, we ran into a situation. I'll talk about it later. I'll send an email blast, on some things, but no worries. I mean, it's positive. But anyway, gang, all right. Thanks for plugging in. I respect your time, but I think you should respect your own time. And your own time, what are you doing with it? What are you doing with those precious hours that God gave you to make a difference in this world? Man, don't continue to put off the hard decisions you need to make to change your life. All right, gang. All right. God bless. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Take care.